Guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far. So today's video is going to be an Ulta haul with a little bit of a twist. I thought it would be fun to try a try-on haul for you guys because I don't film a lot of tutorials or get ready with me's, but I am going to start incorporating them more on my channel in 2018. And I recently saw Jess from JAM Beauty 89 do a try-on haul, and I thought it was so much fun. In fact, I think it was an Ulta haul, so I thought it would be fun to try it out myself. So today I have a bunch of new products to share with you guys. All of these products are new to Ulta. I did incorporate some of my favorites just because I didn't pick up everything for like every step of my makeup routine, but I think I have like 7 or 8 new products to share with you guys. And I did try some of the products before the video so I could give you a little bit more of a comprehensive review, and then some of them are first impressions. So today's video is sponsored by Flower Beauty, and I was so excited when I heard that they were available at Ulta because Ulta is my go-to place for shopping for makeup, and Flower Beauty is a cruelty-free brand that a lot of you guys have been telling me to try for a while. So I was really excited to get the opportunity to partner together with them for this video to share some Ulta exclusive Flower Beauty products with you. The first one is the Beauty Flash Full Face Palette. It comes with 3 eyeshadows, a bronzer, 2 blushes, and a highlight. The eyeshadows are so smooth and blendable. The matte shades are just gorgeous. They literally take no effort at all to blend out onto the eyes. And then I love the bronzer, highlighter, and blushes because they're extremely natural looking on the skin. They're very glowy and very beautiful, and they make your skin look really healthy. I will also be using the Wanderlust eyeshadow palette. So there are 3 different options. I used 1 in the video, but I will swatch all of them for you guys so you can know what they look like in case you're interested in a different option. But the metallic shadows in these palettes are absolutely beautiful. They're so rich and saturated. They just have like this multi-dimensional glitter in them, and when you kind of move your eyes, I'm wearing one on my lid today, or like you move your hand, like I'll show you guys in the swatches, you just see like so many different colors inside each shadow. So I feel like they're absolutely beautiful. They're so easy to use. And the last product from Flower Beauty is the Galaxy Glaze Holographic Lip Gloss. I love these. So they have 6 different shades. The one that I'm wearing right now is in the shade number 10 Soleil. It's a pretty nude lip gloss. It's very sheer, but it also has like a pretty pink coral sheen to it. And it's just packed with like sparkle. If you're looking for something just extra beautiful, extra shiny, these are going to be a great option for you. Okay guys, so let's jump into it and we'll chat about these products as well as a couple of others, and I'll show you how everything applies. So I am going to use one of the Wanderlust eyeshadow palettes. I just can't decide which one. I think I'll go in with NYC Midnight Manhattan just because I think I'll create kind of like a go-to spring look, or at least what I would normally wear during the spring. So I'm going to kick it off with this brown matte shadow. It is the only matte shadow in the palette, but it's the perfect color for me to use as a transition shade. So I'm just going to apply that to the crease and then also kind of blend it above the crease. They're so blendable. I think I probably even got a little bit too much just because I'm used to needing more product, but if you just dip your brush in, you get pretty intense color payoff, but it also blends out really easily. As you guys can tell, I'm not having any trouble blending. The shadows, or the matte shadows, are a little bit powdery, but I think it's because they do blend really well. I find that in general, if a shadow blends well, it tends to be a little bit more powdery. So I think I'm going to go in with this gold shadow right here. I love this so much. Let me just swatch it for you guys and show you. It looks gold in the pan, but then when you swatch it, it has like this pretty kind of like corally orange reflect to it, and it also has some glitter in it. So it looks really multi-dimensional on the eye, which I really enjoy. I actually just use my finger. I feel like they apply best with your finger because you get great color payoff, but you could totally go in with a brush if that's what you prefer. When it comes to metallic or shimmer shadows, I always just use my finger to pat them all over the lid. I like these metallic shadows because they're very lightweight. Like they have a very light texture to them, and that's hard to explain unless you've played around with a lot of metallic shadows, but some of them can feel a little bit heavier. They kind of bunch up. If you try to layer it on top of another shadow, it just doesn't look very good. These are very lightweight, so they're really easy to layer. So you can always go in with a darker shadow and then place a lighter shadow on top if that's something you're interested in. So I'm going to stop it there with the gold for a second. I'll probably go back in with this gold in a second just to kind of intensify it before I do my liner. But first I want to apply a brown shadow in the outer corner just to darken up the look a little bit. So this brown shadow is from the Beauty Flash Full Face Palette. And like I said in the intro, this one does come with 3 eyeshadows, 2 blushes, a bronzer, and a highlight. I am going to go in with this dark brown shadow right here just to kind of darken up the outer corner and the crease, so it's easy to just lay down the color first and then blend it afterwards. So before I go in and pack that gold color back onto the lid, I'm just going to kind of clean up the edges of this eyeshadow because I am going to do winged liner, so I just kind of like a nice crisp eyeshadow line as well. So I am going to use a brush just to show you guys that you can use one. You don't have to wet it with anything. The product picks up really nicely on a brush, and this is just a synthetic brush, and you can pack the color right onto the lid. So if you are not a fan of using your fingers for eyeshadow, you can also use a brush for sure with the metallic or the matte shadows. I did not pick up a new eyeliner, so I'm actually going to line my eyes with the Physicians Formula Eye Booster 2-in-1 Lash Boosting Eyeliner and Serum because that is my favorite. I have gone back and forth between like a few high-end options and a few drugstore options, and I really enjoy this one and one from NYX Cosmetics as well, but I just find this one so easy to use. I have a little bit of a hard time doing my eyeliner on camera, so I will do my best. I'm going to go in with this new primer from Physicians Formula. It is the Spotlight Illuminating Primer. So I personally have not tried this yet. It's supposed to blur your skin, correct, and protect, and then it's also supposed to deliver a spotlight glow and reduce redness, which is actually perfect for me. The bottle feels really nice. It feels like a high-end primer, so let me open it up and shake it and try it out. I don't do a lot of first impressions on my channel because I usually like to test out products before I share them with you, but I thought it might be fun to include a few first impressions and just kind of switch it up, and then of course I will do like an update in a few weeks and let you guys know my final thoughts. So it kind of looks like the Becca Cosmetics primer when you first pump it out. Let me rub it onto the skin and see how it feels. So in general, I don't reach for super glowy primers, but lately I have been enjoying like hydrating primers. I feel like my skin just feels really refreshed after I use a hydrating primer. So I wasn't sure if this one was just going to be glowy or if it was also going to be hydrating on top of it. It is leaving my skin with a subtle glow, but it kind of looks like a healthy glow. It doesn't necessarily look oily or greasy because some primers can do that. It looks really pretty. The primer itself feels nice, but it doesn't really feel extra hydrating. It definitely doesn't feel mattifying, but I feel like it just kind of is somewhere in the middle. I'm going to apply foundation on top and see how the foundation goes on and if my skin gets really oily throughout the day. So I am trying out the Physicians Formula, the Healthy Foundation. So this is a new release. It's meant for all skin types. I got the shade LW2. So I don't know if Physicians Formula has made foundations in the past. At least I personally haven't tried any of them, but this one actually sounded like something I would like because it does say that it's ultra blendable, lightweight, buildable, and breathable. So I don't think it's necessarily going to be super full coverage, but it does say that it is a buildable foundation. I'm kind of on the hunt for like a good drugstore foundation, especially like an everyday foundation that's not necessarily too heavy on the skin, but still gives me pretty good coverage. So we'll see if this is the one. It does have SPF 20 in it. The bottle is really nice. Again, it just feels high-end in my opinion. So when you open it up, it does have a doe foot applicator. I don't know if I have any foundations that have doe foot applicators. I only have concealers. I hope this shade matches me pretty well. It's tough because my face is always like so red, so it looks a little bit darker than the rest of my body, but my neck and chest are like so light. So I try to match my face to my neck and my chest, and this looks like it's going to be a perfect match, which is awesome. So let me start applying it. I'm just going to take this and apply it on my nose. It does have a scent. It kind of has like a fresh scent, I would say. It's not anything too overpowering, but it is noticeable. So far so good, I think. It's hard to tell. I feel like I can mostly tell like around my cheek area because I have like acne scarring and freckles, so that's where I'll really be able to tell what kind of coverage this foundation is. So let me go in and apply it to my cheek area. The coverage is definitely not great. I feel like my skin is super red and I can kind of see like acne scarring and freckles really, really prominently through the foundation. And I personally prefer something with more coverage. So to be fair, this doesn't claim to be a full coverage foundation, but it does claim to be buildable. So if it builds up and gives me medium coverage, I think that would be really nice. So the second layer does look like it's covering more redness. So this is what my skin looks like before and then after about 2 layers. So I feel like it does cover redness, but it definitely doesn't cover freckles or acne scarring, even after building up a few layers. So I'm just going to apply it to the rest of my face. So the more that I use it, the more that I do notice the scent. It's kind of strong. It has kind of like a fresh scent, but also I wanted to say it kind of smelled like glue, but I don't know if that's accurate. It does have a strong scent for sure. It definitely didn't cling on to any dry areas. It really doesn't look like it's creasing anywhere. It does look a little bit glowy, so I feel like it might have a tendency to look super oily throughout the day, which we'll see, but my initial thoughts are that it looks really nice on the skin, especially if you are a fan of like medium to buildable foundations. This color looks like it might be a little bit light for me, but we'll see if it oxidizes. I feel like most foundations oxidize on me, so we'll see how it looks once I have everything set into place. So I finally got my hands on the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Concealer and Contour. A lot of people are saying this is a dupe for the Tarte Cosmetics Shape Tape. The wand is a nice size. I feel like it's just going to fit really nicely under the eyes. I'm just going to go in with about that much. I don't usually go too crazy with my concealer, so it's blending out nicely, but it still looks really pigmented. Like it's still giving a lot of coverage. I feel like I applied too much. I don't usually go in with such a heavy hand with my concealer, but I feel like it won't hurt because my foundation is a little bit more light coverage, so we'll just kind of help cover up any redness, especially around my nose area. My nose is always red. I forgot to tell you guys, I got the shade C2. I'm just going to apply a little bit between my brows. I like this so far. It blends out really, really beautifully. Like it's almost effortless. It looks good so far. So what I do to kind of clean up my eyeshadow is just take a little bit of concealer right there. Sometimes it can get like really dark right in here, or just, you know, depending on your blending skills. I'm definitely not a makeup artist, so I feel like sometimes I blend a little bit too low. So what I do is just take concealer and kind of clean it up so the transition color doesn't come so far in. So I'm going to set my foundation. I think that I'm actually going to use the Kat Von D Lock-It Powder Foundation. This foundation does add extra coverage to the skin. So if you wear a liquid foundation and then you set it with this powder, it's going to add a little extra layer of coverage because it is called a powder foundation. But honestly, I set basically all of my foundations with this powder just to add a little extra coverage. So I feel like because I do it with the rest of my foundations, I want to try it with this foundation as well. So this is the Real Techniques Beauty Sponge, and I just wet it a little bit and then squeeze out the water, and I feel like it makes the powder go on really beautifully. It sets everything into place extremely well, and it doesn't make your skin look powdery. It looks more skin-like. So I'm going to go back in with the Beauty Flash Full Face Palette. I'm going to use this medium brown shadow right here just to lightly line my lower lash line. And then I might go in with the dark brown as well, just depending on how this looks. But I don't like to do anything too crazy, but I do like to give my lower lash line just a little bit of definition. I think the light brown is actually perfect, so I'm going to skip the dark brown for now. So this palette does come with a bronzer, 2 blushes, and a highlight. The bronzer looks shimmery in the pan, but when you apply it to your hand, it actually just has a really pretty sheen. So when you blend it out, you don't see like actual shimmer. It just looks like it has a really pretty glow. So I feel like that is absolutely perfect. So I'm just going to go in and bronze up my cheeks a little bit. I don't want to use too heavy of a hand because I feel like I can kind of move around the foundation. No, the foundation's staying in place well. I feel like this bronzer is nice though because it just gives your skin a really natural glow. So it's not anything too intense or harsh, which I feel like is perfect for everyday wear, for spring, and it goes really well with this eyeshadow look. So I'm just kind of blending it onto the cheeks. And then I'm just going to take it onto the forehead a little bit. I'm trying not to mess up my hair. You get a little bit of like a cooler toned blush and then more of a corally blush. The pan size is a little bit smaller, so you do have to be careful when you're dipping your brush in so you don't necessarily like mix it into an eyeshadow or the bronzer or the highlight. I'm going in with more of like the coral shade, and I'm just going to apply that right kind of at the apples of my cheeks. Some days I honestly skip blush just because I don't know. I feel like you do everything you can to take the redness out of your skin, and then when you add blush, sometimes it's like you're just adding it right back in. But I like this one because it's on the more subtle side. I really only wear like subtle blushes, so this one, both of these really are perfect for me. I'm almost finished. Let me just fill in my brows. So I'm just using the Anastasia Brow Powder Duo in dark brown. Again, this is not a new product, but it's just what I use to fill in my brows right now. So I'm just going to go back in with the highlighter from the face palette and use that to highlight under my brows, just to kind of keep it nice and bright. And then I'm also going to use that in the inner corner just to brighten that up as well. So for mascara, I've been using the Flower Beauty Lash Warrior Mascara, which sounds really intense and I love the name of it. This makes your lashes so long. It also adds a good amount of volume, but the main thing for me with this mascara is length. So I'm just going to apply this. I also like this mascara because it really lifts and curls the lashes while holding them into place. So this is going to be a great option for you if you're looking for that like curl and that length. I'm just going to go in and line my waterline with this gold liner from ColourPop. I feel like it will really just kind of add something, especially because the lid is such a bright gold. So I feel like this will just be a fun pop. This is like my favorite eyeliner of all time. This one is in the shade Dirty Talk. It just really helps to brighten up your eyes, but it's also a little bit different than like a white or a nude. It's just so much fun. And then finishing up with the lips. So I've been telling you guys that I'm like so sick of liquid lipsticks lately. I'm all about gloss and especially like metallic glosses. They have been my favorite. So I'm going to go in with one of the Flower Galaxy Glaze Holographic lip glosses. I love these so much. They're absolutely beautiful. If you are a fan of like glittery lip products, but you don't want that gritty feeling, these are going to be ideal for you because they're so smooth. They're not sticky at all, and they just make your lips look really shiny and beautiful. So you can wear them on their own or you can wear them on top of a lipstick. I like wearing them on top of a nude lipstick just to add something a little bit extra. But on day-to-day, what am I trying to say? When you see me day-to-day, when I'm working or running errands or I'm just like out grocery shopping, I don't usually wear lipstick under gloss. I just feel like glosses are so easy, and these look really great on their own. This shade is Angelic, which is definitely more of like a super sheer gloss, so you're just going to get like that intense shine. But I think I'm going to use Soleil because it's a little bit darker and it's just filled with like beautiful gold and silver glitters. I can't talk and apply lip gloss at the same time. I love these so much because they're not sticky, and I don't mind sticky glosses, but I feel like when you're running around and like your hair's down, it just ends up in your lip gloss, and I can do that anyways, but when it's sticky, it just makes such a mess. So I really like just like glossy lip glosses that don't have that sticky tacky feeling to them. But I think I'll come back and check in with you guys in a few hours. It is around 2 o'clock, so I think I'll come back at maybe like 9 or 10. So I will see you guys in a little while. Okay guys, I am back. It is about 10 o'clock, so it's been almost 8 hours since I've been wearing all of this makeup, and I wasn't doing anything too crazy. I've literally just been sitting at my computer editing for the past 8 hours, so my eyes might be a little bit red, but I wasn't like running around or anything like that. So I feel like I gave the products, like the face products, a pretty easy day. I didn't blot my face or anything, and my skin is looking shiny for sure. It's actually not looking as bad as I thought it was going to, because when I applied everything, it didn't look super mattified. It already looked glowy, so I thought my skin would be looking super oily. And for me, this actually isn't too oily. I'm just going to go in with like a blotting paper and just blot it to see how it looks after that. Today was a bad brow day for me. I was like editing this video and I was like, I did not do a good job on my brows. Okay, so the concealer actually held up pretty well. I'm so surprised by the fact that it really did not crease at all for me, which is amazing. So I'm definitely a fan of the concealer. Those are just my first impressions. The foundation actually held up okay. I feel like it is kind of coming off around my nose, my upper lip area, maybe my chin, but honestly, it doesn't look terrible. That being said, I did just only sit in front of my computer for 8 hours. I wasn't like running around or doing anything crazy, so I don't know if it would be my go-to foundation on a really long day, but maybe for like an easy day when I want something more natural looking and a little bit more lightweight, I might reach for it. The eyeshadow stayed in place really well, and the bronzer, blush, and highlight actually lasted on the skin as well, which is awesome. The lip gloss came off a few hours ago, obviously, because lip gloss isn't necessarily long-lasting, and I just didn't reapply it. So overall, I'm pretty happy with these products. I'm definitely going to keep testing them, especially like the primer and foundation, so I can kind of update you guys in a few weeks on how they work for me or if they've become staples in my collection. But that is the end of my video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget that you can check out these Flower Beauty products at Ulta. They are Ulta exclusive, so I'll put a link in the description box below if you guys do want to check them out. But like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.